And we are back, and we do want to apologize for the extended break. Technology is great when it works, and we finally got it to work in our favor. We are moving into our second conversation for today, and we are joined by the administrator of the Welcome Resource Center, Joyce Ellis. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm good.
All right.
All right. It's so nice to hear from you, Joyce. And I'll tell you what, it's so nice to see you as well.
Yeah.
And let's venture off directly into this conversation. The Welcome Resource Center. Before we get on into the anniversary, which I'd like to say happy anniversary, let's talk about what is the center about.
The center is about caring for mentally ill, homeless, elderly. We have also deportees and addicts as well.
Okay. And over the years, your population has been growing. Tell us about how many people you serve as of today.
As of today, we are up to registered to the center, a little bit over 475. On a daily basis, I must say after the lockdown with COVID, we're about at 25. For some reason, some of them don't want, well, not that they don't want to come, but they are also scared of what is going on with this disease.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, when we did have the lockdown situation, it was really a wonderful situation where the Welcome Resource Center and a number of other NGOs quickly came together to make sure that this population was taken care of. Tell us a bit about that, Joyce.
What happened? We had started to plan, a group of us, the Welcome Resource Center, Human Development, Ministry of Health, City Council, Belize Red Cross, Salvation Army, NEMO. We sat and we made a plan for the population that I serve. And so what we did, each organization had to give something in order for us to make it work. So through the City Council, we had managed to get the MCC grounds.
Yeah.
The Red Cross gave us the bedding and a couple hygiene products.
Yeah.
The bedding include also some sponges, some single sponges. That was good. We also, the food was done by the Welcome Resource Center, Human Development, and Salvation Army. Ministry of Health provided the health aspect of it. They would go every other day to check on the participants at the center to see at MCC to see how they're doing, compliance with medication and things like that.
Yeah.
We also had the police, to a certain extent, who would come and make checks to see what is going on at the center.
Joyce?
At MCC.
Yeah.
Okay, I tell you what, looking at the pictures on the screen, I could see only smiles, only happiness, only laughter, which is exactly what a Welcome Resource Center should be. Can you tell us, what is a day like at the Resource Center?
The day at the Resource Center starts at 9, where they come in, they take their shower, and they get their breakfast. The breakfast is served, and after breakfast, they could have some time looking at the TV. The ones who want to read would read, and then there's a time when we turn the television off and we do discussion, maybe some art activity, some one-on-one with individual who would like to speak on their own issues. And then we would have lunch, and after lunch they're free to watch television again. Yeah. And sometimes during the afternoon session we would do like education presentation for them.
Wow.
And they could even watch maybe interesting series dealing with probably depression, mental issue, addiction, and things like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, when you approach your anniversary, it's a time to kind of take stock. For you, Joyce, you know, you entered into this particular role, and everybody has their different preconceptions of what it's like to work with people with severe mental illness or the homeless population. Tell me about what you have learned about this population over the years.
What I've learned about this population over the years, Marlene, that they are no different from us. It's just that they are going through certain circumstances, because we have some that came and we managed to place them in jobs and get them back with their families, and they're not coming anymore. So that's a plus for us. But the population itself, all they need is love, empathy, and understanding.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes society judges them without knowing the full circumstances. What do you think is in? You've heard all their stories. Tell me what would be some of the common reasons why people end up in the situation where they're on the streets.
Some of them dishonesty. That's one. For the male, it's always been promiscuous, having a lot of children and things like that, and at the end, nobody wants to take care of them. The major one is addiction, because some of them want to self-medicate, and because of that, they end up losing their family. And also, what I found out with them in the initial stage is that they have an issue and they don't want to address it with the psychiatric nurses, because in their mind, based on the stigma and discrimination, they don't want to be called that C word.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. And you do, in fact, offer some psychiatric care there as well. They get some medication offered through the Ministry of Health?
Yes, through the Ministry of Health, we will do our referrals. We'll take their dates down. For example, if participant X had his medication last month on a specific date, then we find out when he or she should get medication again, and then we would call the nurses to come, and they could say that they want to go to court to get their medication, or they could simply take them into a room and just administer the medication. Okay. It's not a thing that they are forced to do medication here, but compliance with medication is important.
Yeah. Now, you know, the Welcome Resource Center, and I think that was part of the idea behind what the Mental Health Association wanted at that time. It wanted to preserve the dignity of the people who are living on the streets for different reasons. And so you have people coming in, they get the chance to socialize, to rest, to have a meal, to take a shower, and just to feel, like I said, more wholesome at that time. For you, when you're there and you meet all these people from all different walks of life, what's a success story for you?
Marlene, we have several success stories, if I could share.
Sure.
One of my greatest success story was to connect a participant back with his daughter that has he had left the United States as a deportee years ago. So I managed to make that connection, and his daughter and her husband came and took him to some they stayed at hotels out there, and they had a nice time. And that connection is still going. Every other day, I would have him call his daughter and speak to her when she is available. Another one is that we have another participant, again, he's a deportee, that I also made connection with his family. And so through myself, they communicate and they manage to get him a little house, and they pay the rent so he isn't on the street. There is another guy that came. He was here briefly. I got him into a job, and he's still working.
Wow.
Nice.
We have a particular participant that used to come here. Now from time to time, he does the security for the building through a security company.
Wow.
Nice.
And those are all male stories. The females, for the most part, we connect them with their children, grandchildren, and so it develops a better relationship with them. We get them to understand the situation of their mother, and that it's not anything to be ashamed of if your mom is sick.
Yeah.
And I usually use the word sick because it's being sick.
Yeah, it is it is being ill.
And we're not ashamed if we have a cold. So we shouldn't be ashamed if you're suffering from a mental illness.
That's right.
Joyce, I'll tell you what, these are all happy stories. I feel warm inside just to know that, things are actually happening to put smiles on people's face and bring back happiness to families. Joyce, it also says that you guys will be doing a clothing drive. Can you tell us more about it?
First, let me say that when we started, we only started with 1 meal. To date, we are at 3 meals. So you get breakfast, lunch, and supper. And on Fridays, you get a bag to go. We pack a weekend bag for our participants.
Nice.
So at 7 Air, that's where we're at. We're doing several drives in Marlenia and John. One of the ones that I am passionate about is our friends on Facebook. We're asking them that, could you give a donation of $5 a month? You're a friend, and we're asking for $5 a month donation. And you could pay your whole year, and on the 8th of July, annually, you will get a certificate in good standing saying that you are one of our friends at the center that supports us annually.
Nice.
That's for friends on Facebook. Even if you're not our friend on Facebook, like our page.
Just be your friend, right?
Yeah, just being a friend to the center, it's welcome.
Yeah.
We also
How do you get that money? Because that's always part of the challenge with drives. People want to do it. How do they get the money to the resource center?
They could either write a check to Welcome Resource Center, or they could just deposit the money in our account.
Okay.
Now, if they deposit the money, there is a slip that they would give. So you just take a picture of your slip, send it to us, so we could add you to our list, so that we could, one, give a count of where the money is coming from, and two, have your certificate ready for you next year around this time.
Yeah.
All right. So you're asking for what is a monthly contribution to keep things going. And
yes, ma'am.
That's one of your fundraising activities. What else are you working on?
We are also working on a clothing drive.
Okay.
We are in need of male clothing. We always need male clothing. So we have a clothing drive that is going on. Gently used clothes, guys, please. Sometimes people would bring for us, and it's sad that we have to throw away almost half of it because it's not usable.
Oh.
And where are you located? Or how can we get the clothing to you?
We're located at the corner of Vernon and Tibu Street, the last building on Vernon Street. It's a green building, blue hybrid container in the yard.
Yeah.
You cannot miss it.
Yeah.
And
it is important because when people do go to the center, they get the chance to take a shower and to put on clean clothes, and that's what the donation is for.
And then, besides just coming to give a donation, you could just come and sit in with them. Time is also money for us. Yeah. So if you could come and spend a couple hours with them, just having a discussion with them, or just come and see what is going on at the center, that you could coexist with these individuals in your area, it's not a problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's lovely.
All right. And so people just have to drop the clothes off at the resource center. You're open 9 to 4, Monday to Friday, and emphasis on males. You accept female clothing, right?
Yes, we do accept female clothing, and sometimes people would bring children clothes, and we would give it to the females to give to their grandchildren. Because they do have children also.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's always, there is always a need for more male clothing.
There is always a need for more male clothing.
All right. Any other way that people can help, Joyce?
Another way that an individual can help, or a family, they could choose to adopt a participant, meaning that they would cover certain costs for the participants for however long they chooses to do so.
Okay.
It takes us, it's like $10 daily for each participant to be here. So if you choose to adopt a participant, it could be arranged and we could go from there.
All right. Well, thank you very much,
Thank you.
Joyce, for telling
Wow.
us all about what's happening at the Resource Center. Once again, people can assist by offering a contribution of $5 a month. You can also donate gently used clothing to the participants, male and female, but there's always a great need for male clothing by dropping it off at the center at the corner of Tebruce and Vernon Street.
All right, Joyce, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, take care. Happy anniversary.
All right, so we're about to take that break, but when we come back, we'll be chatting with the folks from the Belize Estate Company Limited. So stay with us. We'll be right back.